Hey y'all, it's me, Dustin. It is November 28th, 2022. Um, I just wanted to give updates. So I've been taking, I couldn't really tolerate the Lexapro. It's having some pretty significant kind of ugly side effects. Felt definitely less anxious and more calm, but the trade-off just wasn't worth it. So I did a lot of research and looked into a lot of stuff, and apparently since my biggest issue was the anxiety, it was never really the there's a side little bit of depression, but it's because of the anxiety and the fear. I looked into Buspirone, tried to get it prescribed by my GP. She told me that she didn't want me to have it. She wanted me to be on the Lexapro. So I kind of circumvented the doctor, and I went with an online retailer, an online consultant who I kind of, filled in the right answers, and they ended up sending me a 180 day supply, or excuse me, a 90-day supply, 180 tablets, 180 tablets, 90 days. And I think this is rounding the third week that I've been taking it. Um, the anxiety is substantially less. I'm thankful for that. It comes with a little bit of side effects about that first hour. Sorry, I'm a little kind of recovering from a little bit of like a chest cold, not COVID. Thank goodness. Shit probably would have killed me. But it's got some sinus congestion, had some chest congestion. My daughter had it. My wife had it. But overall, the mental health side, as far as anxiety is concerned, is much more under control. And I do take the occasional Xanax, little small 0.25 milligram tablets, just kind of in a pinch when I'm feeling really particularly anxious or something like that. But I've been able to move away from that for the most part. I kind of was taking a supplemental dose while the Buspirone kicked in. And if I take it, so I take it 2 times a day, 10 milligrams in the morning. I titrated my dose. I started at 5 milligrams in the morning and 5 milligrams in the evening, because I was prescribed 20 milligrams, 10 and 10 milligram, 10 milligram. So I started out with 5 milligram, 5 milligram. First, I think I just did 5 milligram for first couple days. You get some dizziness. The side effects include kind of some dizziness, a little bit of nausea. I take it with food every time. You can take it with or without food. About 10 or 12 hours apart. So as far as that side's concerned, because like I said, that seemed to be the worst component of my actual symptoms, even though I do have physical symptoms, the mental side of my symptoms has been predominantly the more strenuous and the worst part of this whole ordeal. The fear of what's actually going on with me, and the fear of having a neurological condition, and the strain that will put on my family, and the fact that I'm not ready to suffer in that way, and I'm afraid of suffering in that way. So an update on the physical symptoms. The twitching is still definitely there. I twitch all over. From my feet to my head, get them in my lips, my arms, biceps, near my elbow joints, chest, stomach, buttocks, or like aka the glute, back part of my hamstrings, my calves and feet tend to be the most active. Just legs in general tend to be the most active throughout the day, with random pops elsewhere. And I've been feeling I feel like my tongue twitching is increasing. I feel like I get it on the bottom side of my tongue, on the tip of my tongue, on the top, just middle part of my tongue. It was weird when I first started taking the Buspirone. The first week it like killed the twitching. I was getting like only a few twitches a day. And I don't know if that's just placebo and that's just like the body really wanting to be okay or to feel okay. I just don't know. I don't know what was up with that. I was like, it was like a miracle to me. And it went on for like 3 or 4 days. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is just the anxiety. Like it's getting so much better. And I was so hopeful. And I went out and I went to the beach with my dad and my baby. I was so enthusiastic. And then just like anything else that you imagine is helping, you get this placebo effect where you think that something's helping you and it's not. Or at least maybe it was, and then now it's not. And it kind of slipped right back into the old habits. I actually had one of the worst hot spots I've ever had about, I think, a week ago, near my knee on the upper left part of my knee, the outer area of my knee, just constantly going off. It was so bad. Lasted a few days. I have kind of this consistent eye twitch that's pretty much every day. Like I'll get a little flicker here and there in particularly my left eye. So the the frequency of the twitching varies, but it's pretty much somewhere every minute, every couple of minutes, never really extends past that. And they're just like normally speaking, they're little single off, 1 or 2 pops, twitch somewhere on my foot, but sometimes it'll be more, longer in duration and higher in frequency when I get like a hot spot. And man, that one out right outside my knee was like the one that I had in my glute a few weeks prior to that. And it was just like every time it was at rest, it was like, it was rapid fire too. It's just boom, 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 really bad, super annoying, really difficult to deal with mentally. But luckily, I got the medication, which is just, to me, in a way, it's tragic that like that's the status. I kind of lament this whole thing, that this is the status of my life now. It's cycling these medications and trying to maintain normalcy. My vision symptoms are, that's the reason why for these glasses, there's these FL41 glasses supposed to help with migraines and light sensitivity. And they do help. My pattern glare is very much still there. It's the same thing. I thought I was getting relief from it with the gabapentin. And then it was crazy. I think my doctor told me, my neurologist, he's the one who prescribed me the gabapentin, 300 milligrams, depending on 300 milligrams up to 900 milligrams, at night. And I started, or throughout the day, like if I could take 3 a day at different times during the day. And so I started taking 2, I started taking 1, and I started taking 2, and I started taking 3. And by the time I got to the third dose, I had one of the worst panic attacks of my entire life. And my parents had to be here. I thought I was going to die, right then and there. And that was kind of what, I was in the waiting period for the Buspirone. I hadn't received it yet from the online pharmacy. And my mom and my dad had to come and see me, and it was really awful. So, my weight is still really high. I'm still 280 pounds now, again, back to where I was basically before I started my weight loss. Before all of this hell started, basically. I was a big guy for most of my life. And then I lost all that weight, and that's, the mental health was really poor. And then caught COVID, and then bam, had the muscle twitching. But overall, I still have, full mobility in my hands. I have some serious pain in my right hand, but I got in a really bad argument with my wife, and I ended up getting physical with a pillow and punching the crap out of a pillow, and it's like I sprained my hand, but it hasn't recovered, and it's been like 3 weeks. So I don't know if I should be concerned about that, or if it's just, you hurt these sensitive bones, and it's a constant used muscle, so it's going to take or a constant used part of your body, and so it's going to take a while to heal. I don't know about that, but stiffness in my fingers and stuff, it's not really there. I'll get pre-cramps in my feet, but that's not in a frequency that's in any way, at least to me, is alarming. I was having issues with my voice, and I was really worried. I was like, there it is, my voice is going out, but it seems like it was the early stages of that chest congestion that ended up getting me, because now it's still there, but I'm in recovery from that, and so that seems to be getting better. So really, to be honest, I still have the brisk reflexes. I still have the vision issues, so I have the pattern glare. And I have the flickering vision in the bottom of my flickering peripheral vision, in the bottom of my vision, and then the muscle twitching. But really, genuinely, so this is in November. This is the end of November, and it was the very beginning of February, late January, when my twitching started. And it's never gone down. It's never given me a day that it's stopped, but it's lessened to such a degree that I noticed it, especially when I took the buspirone. So I'm going to continue to take the buspirone because it seems to have the least poor side effect profile of any of these medications, and it doesn't have a discontinuation syndrome or anything like that. So I'm going to continue to take it. And, I worry about things. I worry about some. You can see kind of that. See how my hand kind of looks there in the shadow. There's some kind of, it feels like there's some significant issues there, but it kind of, when it's normal, it's not super obvious, but I'm heavy, I used to have some issues with like smoothness of motion, and it's still kind of there. It kind of ratchets a little bit. I get that everywhere. I get that across most of my motility joints, but I don't really have. Yeah, I guess, it's kind of symmetrical with my right hand. But it's right across those 3 fingers, which are, those are the bad ones. Those are the ones you don't want to have any. Those are the ones that get affected by the muscle loss first. But, I can, substantially, pincer grip things down pretty good. And I was dropping things, and I do drop things out of clumsiness kind of fairly frequently. But I was anxious all the time too. So I really don't know. So to just recap, brisk reflexes, vision issues, pattern glare, flickering peripheral vision, flashes of light seem to have gone down, but body-wide muscle twitching, pre-cramps. Oh, and then this new thing started happening where my quads will go numb sometimes while I'm sitting. I'm fairly convinced that that's because I'm just super sedentary now, and I'm eating kind of still like crap. And I've been measuring my blood sugar levels, and sometimes I fluctuate into a kind of a pre-diabetic range. My blood sugar never gets really high, but it's at a fasting rate. It's sometimes high if I eat like crap. So it's probably it might just be a blood sugar thing, but my quadriceps tend to go numb if I sit in a weird position or something, but it's postural. So, and I told my neurologist about that, and he didn't seem very concerned. But he's ordering another EMG, and I've been going to a ophthalmologist, and a neuro-ophthalmologist for my eyes. And so far, they haven't found any abnormalities. He found some. And I do have the eye floaters, but he did see some haziness in the back of my right eye and my retina, and so he thinks that that's what I'm seeing because I still have a blurry spot there. It's just so exhausting listing off all these symptoms, and I sometimes forget they're there, because you live with it for so long that you're like, there's just, I'll take all the issues, I'll take all of the symptoms if it means that I don't pass away. But overall, I feel better, mentally. And they say if you take the buspirone with melatonin, an extended release melatonin at night, it actually stimulates neurogenesis in the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus. So I've been doing that, and so that gives it a little bit of an antidepressant property, but not one to the degree in which you're going to have the negative effects of particular other antidepressants. So it still sucks, but I'm way better off than many that I know. And I'm very fortunate in that I've been given a year so far of not very steep decline, no observable decline. It's been static since it started, basically. It was bad when it started. The twitching was bad. And it kind of comes and goes, not in a way of like a day of rest, but it varies in frequency and in hot spots, but it's ever present all the time. Even while it's never woken me up when I sleep, I don't think, but I've woken up and twitched, never been so violent that it's woken me up. But, and the other thing that went away definitely is my hypnic jerks, where I would, jerk myself awake. That's definitely gone away. And those weird vibrations that I was getting in my chest and stuff like that, those have gone away. I still have like a weird electrical sensation feeling at the top of my neck that kind of comes and goes. It was pretty much constant, but it seems to be going away. It started in my foot, buzzing, and then moved into my leg, and then into my arm, and then into the back of my spine. Just moved up, and now it's in my brain. Is what I keep thinking. But it's not nearly as bad. I've been taking consistently I've been taking B12 every day, my vitamin D, and haven't been taking too many other supplements because I'm afraid of the interactions with the buspirone, so I don't want to cause any type of weird drug interactions. But I'm walking, and it isn't very. I hiked. I put my daughter. I'm 280 pounds, and I put my daughter on my back, and she weighs 33 pounds, and I hiked 5 miles, and kept good pace, and wasn't lagging behind my dad, and my stepmom, my stepmom. Heart rate is a little high, but I'm overweight. Blood sugar's a little weird, but I'm overweight and I'm sedentary. And my doctor and all my blood work has come back good. My doctor's done a bunch of like biomarker tests that would indicate ALS, and my homocysteine was was low. Not low, but under 11. It was like, I think 7. And my ferritin was normal. My CK, I had CK results twice. They were both on the lower range of normal. CPK or CK, creatine kinase, both times. low. It was low about a month before I just did it recently. 2 months before I just did it recently. My copper was normal because, the SOD1, if it was a genetic thing that causes some weird copper issues, and that was normal. And so my neurologist is like, your blood results are coming back like not indicative of ALS, at least as of right now, So I just wanted to provide an update and say that I'm, at the moment, guys, as much as it pains me to say it, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that are really suffering, that are declining, I don't seem to be. I've gained weight. But I'm still walking around. I'm still talking fluently. I don't slur my words really bad. I don't really feel like I'm even slurring my words. I'm not having any issues eating. I'm not having any issues swallowing, except for in the normal circumstance where it's like crap's really dry. But I take those big vitamin E, and I'll take vitamin E too. I'll take those big vitamin E tablets, which are like horse pills, they're like big fish oil pills. And I'll just swallow the thing without water even. So I'm sorry to all those that aren't as lucky as I am, but I want to provide that update to say that if there's people who are suffering from these similar feelings that, in my opinion, are incredibly serious. I mean, the constant body-wide muscle twitching is not normal. It's not normal for you to feel that way. And if you have brisk reflexes, and I have positive Hoffman sign on both my hands, that I've been given a full year, and I'm not steeply declining. And so there's hope in that. And there's hope for other people that are like me. Like right now, my bicep is just rapid firing. Boom, 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 boom. My right bicep. This twitching knows no muscle group that it doesn't infect. It just bounces around to wherever it wants. The most consistent ones are in the calves and in the feet. Just in the legs, and it's hard for me to even say the calves and feet anymore because that's so present in my legs pretty much in general, but calves and feet tend to be the most affected. And I measured them. I used a round tape measure, and my legs are exactly the same size. My calves are the exact same size, down to like the centimeter. So I don't know what happened to me still. I don't know what my future holds. But all I know is that I'm very thankful. And I need to start acting like that. And I need to start taking that more into consideration, because to have been given a year where I'm still walking around and I don't need a cane, I don't need assistance. Some people don't get that. And my heart deeply goes out to those people. And I don't ever want people to imagine that my symptoms are so mild that, I shouldn't even be complaining or something like that, because I promise my symptoms are, incredibly disruptive in my life. You get no rest. You're in the movie theater, you're at dinner with your wife, and you just got these firecracker twitches that are going on that are so, just like I said, so present. You're laying and you're snuggling with your baby and your bicep is just going off, or your eye is going off. You're sitting there trying to be normal with your friends, and you're just all over the place. And then there is some then in the vision issues. The pattern glare is very difficult. Everything loves to have like a dark mode now, and dark mode is like the worst for my pattern glare. It was so, that day that I had that really bad panic attack on the gabapentin, I thought I was going to have a seizure. It was so bad. It started like, I was looking at the TV, and there was like a big aspect of it where there was a white bar that was like, you could slide on the UI. and against a black background and white text, and my vision, it was just like, I mean, this reverbing effect looked like the TV was going to explode. I mean, it physically made my neck recoil. I recoiled my head really bad. I mean, I thought I was going to pass out, have a seizure or something. It scared the living shit out of me. And so that was what caused me to call my parents and stuff, because I was like, something's really bad, guys. It's getting worse. And I feel like the pattern glare is getting worse. But I don't know what's causing that. My MRI is clean. Maybe there's like an fMRI or something that I can do that's going to show some type of hypermetabolism in some parts of my brain that are indicative of some type of neural degeneration, because as of right now, the physical side of it, they can't see anything, nothing. And maybe it's, so I don't know. I don't have any answers, guys. I'm asking questions about what happened. I went from a normal person. And that's the whole point of this whole thing, is that I went from a normal, very healthy guy. I was messing around with, I was drinking a little bit too much, and I messed with some substances, but, I know so many people that do this shit, and nobody gets hurt. Everybody's fine. And I never did anything in serious excess. Yes, I used drugs and alcohol, but never to a degree in which I thought it was dangerous or interfered with my work life or anything like that. I had a, fully functioning, healthy relationship with my wife and with my family and stuff like that. I was never an on the street addict, but and none of these issues were present until all of a sudden I got COVID, and boom. So I don't know if I just had some type of susceptibility or something, I just don't know. But I'm okay, basically, is what I mean to say. And that's in the way that's incredibly comforting and incredibly, I'm so thankful for it, in a way that it depresses me, though, because I wish that other people that I know, friends, and other people that I've other people that I've met through this whole syndrome, or this whole illness, affliction is more the apt term, this affliction, that are really suffering and are really declining, and may have something terminal, may not, but their symptoms are worse than mine. Whether it was caused by the vaccine, or whether it was caused by COVID, or whether it was caused by stress, or whether it was caused by a dietary change, or it was or by drugs, or I don't know. It doesn't matter to me what the cause was, really, hardly anymore, because I'll never really know. But all I know is that there are people that are worse than me, and my heart goes out to them so much. And I just wish that I could meet them in person, and I wish that I could give them a huge hug, and I could just say that I'm so sorry, that life is so unkind. That's one of the biggest difficulties through this whole thing, is that I suffer the immense burden mentally of knowing that how badly my suffering is, that I consider it and that I deal with daily, and the fear and the pain of worrying about not seeing my family, not being around them, is so much worse for other people. And that's awful. The fact that even exists is very, very very mentally harmful to me, and I just lament about it and ruminate about it all the time, is why life is so filled with so much suffering for so many people that just don't deserve it. People who were just out there living their lives, maybe not even with this condition, with just cancer, with whatever, just out there living their lives, and then bolt of lightning hits them, and they just never really get better. And that's really where I feel like, because even with these drugs that are keeping me mentally stable, I don't feel myself anymore. I don't hardly remember the guy that I was back before this whole thing started. So, but the ultimate thing is that symptoms remain. I guess the TLDR, symptoms remain on medication for anxiety, not really declining. A couple weird new symptoms have come up, but they're most likely attributed to lifestyle. And I'm not getting any negative information from any of my doctors, which is both comforting and terrifying, because so many people have gone through the same thing where their doctors just, they're like, oh, nothing's wrong with you, bro. Just go back to work. Go and figure it out. And go and just deal with it. And you're like, dude, I can't. Do you understand that if I can get on medication sooner, if this is ALS, if this is any type of degenerative disease, I can go on medication, it would slow it down. But they don't want to be so thorough, you know. They just want to kind of usher you out. You're fine. You're walking around. You're okay. So, anyways, I love all you guys. Thank you for following me through with this saga. Keep praying for me. Keep send whatever it is that you do that invokes some type of positivity. Send me that. Send me that, because I still need it as much now more than ever. So, and if you have any questions, of course, hit me up in the comments and stuff, and I'll always respond. I don't get a lot of views or anything like that. This isn't about that. This was about chronologing my journey, thinking that I'm terminal, and so wanting to update people and for them to hear my voice and for them to have memories of me and stuff like that. So yeah, so I appreciate it, guys. And I hope all of you, I hope anybody who is suffering, that they get better. Know that if I could do anything to help you guys, I would, and that I think about you all the time. Even if I don't know you, I think about you, and I feel the immense weight of mortality upon my shoulders with you. Even if I don't know you by name, or if I don't know you in person or anything like that. So, until next time, I'll definitely update after I get my new EMG, and my visual field test, which is tomorrow. I'll provide an update then, and we'll see how it goes. So, take it easy, guys, and I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving or a happy holiday, and that you ate some good food, and that you loved your family, or you loved those who are around you that you consider family, because really at this point things are so terminal, not just with me, but just with our society and stuff. And I feel like it's almost like my whole body is a metaphor for just what's going on in the world. You know, the world is just falling apart in so many ways. It's a totally sick society and a sick world, just dying slowly, you know. So I hope everybody can have radical healing and can have radical acceptance and radical love, because we all so desperately need it. Take it easy, guys.